Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to discuss the Brentford game tomorrow. It is 10th place versus 14th in a mid-table clash of the ages. Christ almighty. That's not something you'd expect to have been saying after, last season, in the United fan base at least. But here we are. Here we are. We're in the trenches, and we may never, ever, ever, ever see the light of day ever again. But we're here nonetheless. I've got to make the content. Got to let United fans, weep with me. If you're rival fans, then bask in the glory that is the downfall of this club. But we are here to discuss as a look ahead to tomorrow's fixture, where we kick off against Brentford at Old Trafford at 3 p.m. So, I'm on some juice. Some mycopium juice. Not quite mycopium juice, but kind of wish it was. But nonetheless, we are here to discuss what to expect with tomorrow's fixture. And let's be real, I don't think there's any United fans out there that are really overly optimistic. Nobody's really fancying their chances or our chances against Brentford, even though Brentford have only won one single game in the Premier League this season. So, it's one of those results, right? It's there for the taking. This Brentford team would be there for the taking. We beat Brentford. I believe it was a 3-1 result last season at Old Trafford, a 3-1 result. So we beat Brentford on a scoreline basis convincingly last season, and obviously now with the common belief that we perhaps have regressed since last season, and it certainly ain't going to be a 3-1 game for United, that is for sure. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I get proven wrong. You know what? I hope I get proven wrong. I sincerely hope that I get proven wrong tomorrow. I hope that United turn a page, show up, start kicking Brentford players from pillar to post. I hope Rasmus Højlund bags a hat-trick. I hope Marcus Rashford turns into prime Lionel Messi and just you can't get the ball off of him. I hope Casemiro turns into prime Sergio Busquets. You're just an unbelievable defensive midfield performance. I hope I see these things. I hope I see all of it. But is it really what's real? Shadow, big ups to you, mate. What do you think should Man United should do? Well, for starters, the simple answer: Manchester United should get to winning games. They should get to winning games and get their heads out of the sand. There's a badge on their chest that they represent every match day, regardless of competition. If you wear a Man United shirt with that badge on your chest, competing for this club officially, you have a duty and a very big responsibility to fulfill. And the simples, the simplicity, the basics, the core fundamentals of representing that badge on your shirt is not being met by these players. Because watching this slow decline, well, I say slow decline, it's actually quite a quick decline with all things considered, that this squad's fallen into toxicity again. The general mood among general staff is toxic. So the management, that's the coaching staff, that's the players, that's people working in the offices, that's people literally everywhere. And I think there's probably people leaking from various uh, areas of the club about all of this, dirty laundry that they're so adamant about airing to the general press, the British press, and it's a shame that we've sort of slipped into a place that was pretty much the same as what we had under Ranić, where everyone was just seemingly so unhappy, desperate for a change, desperate for something to start anew. And we're back here again. It looked like we would get this with Ten Hag when he came in, and it looked promising. The signs were promising. The signs were there, but questions about mentality last season. We wanted to believe that it was a case that you just got to get it out of the system over time, right? It takes time. It takes it's a process. Let's be patient with it. Let's back this. Let's back the manager and be patient with it. But the same mistakes, as though we've not learned a single thing on a playing squad level, are reoccurring this season, and it's not good. It's not good. Literally, the first what was it? First 6 games? How many games is it we've played here? So yeah, the opening. I think it was the opening 6 or 7 games were thereabouts the same sort of points accumulation / goals scored and goals conceded at this stage last season. So we've actually, on a results basis, had a similar outcome, but obviously not as the light at the end of this tunnel is not very bright. It's quite dim. Jaminho, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Um, you've bet you're feeling quite confident for this weekend. You're not playing Lons again. You're dealing with the big blue shark on Sunday afternoon. I mean, at least it's not as bad as Chelsea. Now, I would love to agree with this, but at least with Chelsea, there's probably a sense in various aspects of the club where it's like, well, let's just wait for things to click into gear here. Let's let it play out. Let's things play out a little bit. That's with Chelsea. With United, everybody is cooked. Everybody is finished. Every level of the club is is all switched off. They've all gone. They've already jetted off for the summer holidays. They're just not ready to work. They're not ready to put in the effort, put in the desire, the energy, the fight, the desire. Even if you're not playing on a pitch, you haven't got the desire to actually, push, work hard for this club. Because standards are all good just on the pitch. You've got standards off the pitch as well. Everybody's got to live up to a standard. Uh, Funny how the media are bantering United for being 10th after 7 games. They're bantering United more than they did Chelsea last season. They finished 12th. I think because United's a very calamitous, very calamitous landscape at the moment. So it's actually very easy to create any United report or report on United, and more people are more likely going to click on the story about United than they are going to click on about Chelsea. So I think the media are swarming United at the moment because, oh, look, it's the club in absolute disarray. Yeah, I can't blame them. I can't blame them. That's probably just the common case as to where the media piranhas, if you will, they'll go and grizzle on the United meat, as that's the one that's bleeding. I don't know. It does seem that way, that it is United that do get a lot more focus than other clubs. Very confident of us. A half-injured Saka will end up scoring a hat-trick of hat-tricks. Mate, I'll tell you what, if Saka plays and he starts like having an absolute blinder of a game, I'll tell you what. Hats off to that guy. The guy can literally play football on crutches. I know he'd be playing walking football by the age of 50. Well, actually, sorry. by the age of 30. You'll be playing walking football by the age of 30, but as long as you can score a hat trick this weekend. If this was Liverpool, who were 10th in United's situation, the narrative would be that there's too many injuries. The media has a huge United agenda. They love Liverpool as well. To be honest, I don't really know. I don't really know what the agenda is with the media's, what their focus is, what their, say, long-term endeavours are, what their goals are. I know that with United, the media. I'll tell you one thing: the media do love to write stories about Manchester United on the basis that it's United that seemingly will happily leak stories out to them from inside the club, from sources inside the club, and they get material. So I mean, I don't know if Arsenal have leaks who they send stories to the local press who say an unnamed source, please don't name me in the media, because otherwise I'll get sacked or get my wages docked or something like that. I don't think you get these sort of leaks, these types of leaks, and the sort of frequency in which we're seeing these leaks occur happening at any other club as they do at United. It's absolutely mental. Crazy stuff. DJ Crane, Tony Ibarra, big ups to you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Haven't quite got the chocolate milk out at the moment. We're sort of sipping on some juice. Get juiced up to the eyeballs. But yeah, this is sort of like a last respite type stream for me before, we hit Code Brown tomorrow. And I feel like it's going to be another one of those. It's probably going to be one of those. Most of the mainstream media are pricks. That's why I don't give a toss about the likes of Sky and BT. Fair enough. At the same time, I'm finding your capitulation hilarious. Expected, to be honest, expected. Speaking of capitulation from great times, I'll tell you one thing that's quite a sad story. Sir Alex Ferguson's wife. For God's sakes, I've already forgotten her name. Lady Kathy Ferguson, passed away. A very, very key figure in Ferguson's life, in Sir Alex's life. He was set to retire, or he wanted to retire. He was ready to hang up the managerial stuff back in 2002, I believe it was, and she convinced him to not do it, and he stayed on. I believe it was 2002. Is that right? Might have been later. I know that he was planning on retiring at an early stage, but his Lady Kathy Ferguson convinced Sir Alex to not do so, and we got to see the legend in all of his glory at the end of the day. So rest in peace to Lady Kathy Ferguson. What flavour of juice are you drinking? This is Vimto. This is a Vimto juice, literally using Vimto cordial. None of the Vimto stuff from the fridge, from the bottles. It's actually quite nice. It's not like your generic squashes, I find, because all my squashes have all gone out of date. But Vimto stuff, it's good. It's got a good flavour to it, a nice kick to it. Nothing comes close to Nesquik or Muju. Chocolate milk cocktails, but any type of chocolate milk is good. Alpro soya, all of those are dairy. They're the dairy sort of stuff. Dairy stuff. Mine's plant based, and it's a nice proper, slightly it's like long life stuff, so it's caramelized slightly, just slight hint of caramelization in there. Um, Not too rich, not too rich. It's much like a milk chocolatey flavor as opposed to the refrigerated stuff, which is a much more richer flavor to it. Maybe some more towards a distinguished tastes that might prefer the refrigerated stuff. How much longer does Eric Ten Hag if United lose? Ooh, ooh, the variables around that. We could be. I mean, he could survive past Christmas if he, picks up wins. If he has a case of win some, lose some, he'll probably get past Christmas because this club will be adamant about not pulling the trigger because they'll want to give him a chance. Alternatively, we lose this weekend to Brentford, and we lose to Man City, we lose to Newcastle. We get to really dangerous points in the table. We get to dangerous positions in the table, and they'll pull the trigger, and he could be gone in November time. He could be gone in November time. So I think it's got to be fully dependent on how results go. But if we're sat around where we are currently, I don't know if United will pull the trigger. I heard about that as well. Rest in peace to his wife. Yeah, rest in peace to Lady Kathy Ferguson. Sadly, it seems like Man United's season is over. It does feel like that. We're still in every other competition by way of points tally and whatnot. It's still possible for us to get out of the groups. In Champions League, we're still in the Carabao Cup. We're playing Newcastle at Old Trafford, which is not going to be an easy game by any means. And then obviously the FA Cup's still yet to come as well. So there's games to play for, there's competitions to play for, but it's not looking very good. It's not looking convincing at all. Ferguson was the best manager ever, and people can cry all they want. I rate Pep, but he ain't good unless he's got whole countries. He's got a whole country's economy backing him. I'll tell you what, Pep Guardiola is great for taking the team at the top of the league and dominating that league. Usually, you get teams sit at the top of the table, but they don't dominate. They will be favourites, and they will sort of, usually they sit around the higher ends of the table, titles here and there, but they're not just outright keeping everybody else down or tying anchors to people's ankles and weighing everybody else down. Pep Guardiola goes into those clubs and he leaves his stamp of authority on things in that league. So Pep Guardiola, fantastic manager, probably the most technically, probably the greatest manager of all time on the basis of technicality, in just the way in which he's transformed and modernized football, his influence on the game. Obviously, he's not done the whole thing of, as say Yeti, how he likes to big up Brian Clough's in taking a lesser known team and turning them into something. Pep Guardiola hasn't undergone, the Clough challenge or things like that. He hasn't taken on something like that. But for what he has done at the biggest clubs, can't be understated. Soya milk is shambolic. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm banning you, Jaminia. I'm banning you. I'm sending some Soya Outpro G men to your house. They'll silence you for good. United should stick by Ten Hag even if you lose. He isn't the biggest problem at the club. And they should stick with him at least until after most of your main team is back from injury. I'd like to see us have all of our players available and just seeing what he chooses to do with the squad if he's got everybody fit and available. I would like to see how he opts to set up his team. Obviously, even with what he's got currently, there are better choices that he could be choosing and should be choosing, but we'll have to see what what happens if he is given that luxury. It would seem it seems to be a luxury nowadays. Um, but I reckon they probably will stick by Ten Hag if it is, as I said, like a win some, lose some kind of situation. Like if we could beat Brentford, we might draw or lose. No, we'll lose to Man City, and we'll probably lose to Newcastle. And then we'll probably win a game straight after that or something. Like if we've got patterns like that, I don't think the club will pull the trigger. Although I think the fan base probably will. If it was up to you right now, would you sack Ten Hag? I mean, I wouldn't, just on the basis that I don't see the point of sacking a manager to restarting a cycle or just undertaking another cycle of us appointing a new manager. A new manager comes in, or we get a little bit of a manager's bounce. Oh, it's all rosy in the garden. Oh, look at us, we're going to go and win trophies now. Oh, this squad, I told you this squad was really good. This squad was really special. And then it looks all good for about a year to 2 years. And then that manager that we replaced Ten Hag with will be sacked as well. So it's like, why would we be, just delaying inevitabilities or trying to hit the reset button on the cycle of inevitability that your manager is going to get sacked very, very soon as the second you appoint them? It's like if Maurizio Pochettino was our manager instead of Ten Hag. Maurizio Pochettino would probably have been sacked by now, or he would be in the same situation as Ten Hag is right now and on the cusp of being sacked. I believe that. Can't deny that Ten Hag is close to sacking. He's close to the sacking, but for me, I don't see the win behind sacking a manager. Stamp of authority. You mean clubs under investigation? Well, Bayern Munich, I don't think are being investigated at the moment. But watch this space. If they start getting investigations, we gotta go start knocking on Pep Guardiola's door. we gotta go start asking questions of Pep Guardiola if Bayern Munich start getting investigations. Bloody hell! But looks quite damning. If he has everyone fit and available, McTominay comes off the bench. That is an absolute travesty for one of the biggest clubs in the whole of worldwide sport. Crikey. I saw a comment on someone else's stream at the closing of the show. That man said, we can utilise Scott McTominay as a centre-back. I was like, did you not watch his 1 or 2 games under Jose Mourinho? Most notably the West Ham game away, where we lost 3-1 and he cost us 2 goals directly. Someone actually thought that would be a good idea. No chance. Carl Rossi, good to see you, mate. Hope we're doing well. Let me just see regulars back in here. All good stuff. One of those days where I'm extra zero tolerance on human bullshit. Yep. Humanity. Life's biggest lemon. Can't squeeze this one though, unfortunately. Some of your deluded fans predict United to win the league. If I ever see Scott McTominay with a Premier League medal, I will PayPal you $50 fuzz. Oh, mate. Or €50 rather. I'll tell you what, that would be something if Scott McTominay is lifting a trophy. It's like watching Tottenham. What is it? I'm trying to think of? There's a meme about something that things you'll never see in your lifetime, and then it was just Tottenham Hotspur winning the Premier League title, something like that. But things you'll never see happen. Scott McTominay not winning a Premier League No chance of it. Um, Stephanie Griffith, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Utilising Scott McTominay as a centre back, mate. They said it. They said it, not me. They said it, not me. Scott McTominay, along with Paul McShane, Jack Butland, Will Keane, Michael Keane, and Anthony Martial, what a worst pleasant history of your beloved club. Anthony Martial, I don't think is actually that bad. Just injury prone, just very, very injury prone, and it's the same story with Donny van der Beek. Like Daniel Sturridge as well. Never really, unfortunately, his decline or the declines in these players' careers hasn't come as a result of them just not playing as well anymore. It's just because they've not played minutes of football for such long, extensive time that they just get ring rust, and they can never get the ring rust off before they're injured again. And it's just one hammer blow after the next for these guys. Just after watching the Beckham documentary, almost forgot the level of elite footballers in the 90s and early 2000s. My good lord, it is. And the game at the highest level back then, it was brutal. It was a brutal game, but it was a brutal world. Elite football. It was a dog eat dog kind of world at the highest level of competitive sport, and your best mates that you'll go hang out with, you hang out with in the summer holidays, if that. you would you wouldn't hug anybody at full time. You wouldn't hug anybody in the tunnels. You wouldn't hug anybody that wears a shirt different than yours. You wouldn't. You wouldn't see it, and I'd love to see that sort of fiery, competitive nature come back into the sport, because I feel like for the sake of viewership, people need to see it more. In good company with Stevie G, good old Scott McTominay, McTerminator. My good lord. Martial is absolutely shambolic, even worse than shambolic. He's almost as bad as Scott McTominay. Nah, he's okay. He's okay. If I were a United fan, I'd rather re-sign Will Keane and put him up front than Martial. The next Henri, our fans were saying when linked. He was the next Henri when Arsenal were linked to Martial, but when United signed him, he became the next Yaya Sanogo. If United had prime Steven don't even speak that into existence. Their midfield would have been Beckham, Scholes, Keane, and Giggs. Yeah, you're damn right. He can join the dinner lady. Can join the dinner lady at Carrington. Just no chance. No chance I want to see that. Now it's a tree. Now it's tree huggers. Anthony Martial is as close to handball cheaters. To handball cheaters as close to me as being an extrovert, mate. Introvert gang, baby. Introvert gang. It's the best way to live life. Just be introverted. You don't like your social battery gets preserved that way. You just you don't feel like you have to be the life of the party. You don't have to go say hello to everybody at the venue. You don't have to do none of that. You literally just walk in there, say hi to the people who host it, and go sit in a corner. If there's food to have some food, have a drink. It's all good. It's all good. Just tuck into the corner somewhere. Kick back and relax. Some Liverpool idiots are trying to tell me Henderson is on the same level as Gerrard as well. Now Curtis Jones is on the same level, idiots. Mate, the thing is, right, is ask Liverpool fans now about Jordan Henderson. Most of them would say, nah, Curtis Jones is better than Jordan Henderson. Curtis Jones is better because he ran off to Saudi Arabia. Like, man went from being a Liverpool legend to the hypocrite of hypocrites. The hypocrite to end hypocrisy. chasing the bag. Facts, yeah. I'm an introvert as well. At the same time, I'm a bit of an extrovert. I suppose I'm a bit more extroverted on camera as opposed to introverted. I do like the most I ever speak in life is on stream here or on a video. This is the most I ever speak for anything for anyone at any time. Henderson, a better captain than Roy Keane, is another one I heard. That is definitely not true. 100% not true. All I need is wife, dog, 1, 2 real friends. This community, I'm good, I'm blessed. What you need is that, not just those things, Carl, but a cocktail bar on a beach side in a tropical land or tropical beach side. Just have yourself a nice cocktail bar that serves the freshest, most ice cold beers, but some of the nicest cocktails you have ever tasted in your life, and they will only ever serve you. They don't serve nobody else; they just serve you, and they do it just the way you like it. Their fan base is so annoying, deluded, hypocritical, biased, clapped, idiotic, and they all act victims as well. Mate. You are very good on cam offers. I love also when you are a guest with others. You never try to take over, always chill, big ups. I suppose that's a bit of my introverted side coming through because it's like I know that there's various times where I will want to say something and I'll try and time it as appropriately as possible. But I do actively try to avoid ever speaking over somebody else. If they're, say, for instance, if a host is trying to say something or move the show onto something else, I'm just like, just don't say anything until there is a gap in the gap in conversations. But thank you very much, Carl Ross. I really appreciate that comment. Liverpool won the treble in 01, but they said, but the same idiot told me that 99 treble shouldn't count as a treble. Yeah. Try and change the course of it. It's like, do you know what, with the conversations about replaying games, Liverpool would be like, oh, well, if we can get this Tottenham game replay, can we go replay the games from the 99 season? Can we go beat United twice over if they haven't done so already that season? Can we go take a league title off of them so they don't ever win the treble? That'd be great. Not to mention that Liverpool fans remind me of Rangers fans. There's two clubs right there that you'd love to see get liquidated. Because you're brilliant on cam, you're a natural. Thank you very much, Jaminho. Real one for that. Big ups to y'all. Big ups to y'all. Really appreciate the love and support that you guys have shown me. Really, really appreciate it. So thank you. Ooh, 1958 saying that there will be a protest tomorrow at the ticket office at 2 p.m. This is for you fucking up royally. That's bloody Champions League night against Galatasaray. Why the fuck were there thousands of Galatasaray fans in the home sections? Literally, Stretford End, right? The proud Stretford End was hijacked by Galatasaray fans. For God's sakes. But now the 58 are really going after the ticket office. They've already called for people on the fan advisory boards, right? The people employed by the club who are fans, to boycott their positions, give up those positions and just walk away. Mate, the wheels of the 1958 machine are turning. If I hear one more time about that fucking replay of the Spurs game, I'll literally lose it. It's on the news. It's on the news even. I don't know, right? I suppose because it's Liverpool, it's just it's been it's like propaganda in North Korea. It's like, if we keep this on replay and play it through loudspeakers on repeat, they will start to think like us, and they will feel our victimhood. They will understand our pain. Not as if they liquidate, I'd be delighted. So where was our replay for the Brentford game then? What the Brighton game? Do you mean where the linesman forgot to draw lines for a goal that was supposedly onside? So Lee Mason, because of Lee Mason, it was all in my hands. It was all in our hands. But then the title fell through my sausage fingers, and then it was gone. Fan base Klopp started to piss me off now. Liverpool ain't the only ones getting shafted. Deal with it, for fuck's sakes. Yeah. Everyone's getting shafted. Listen, I'm all for, right, getting into the same boat as Liverpool fans and other fans of rival clubs to unify in a front against the open nature that is VAR causing problems for the game that we know. The whole idea of replaying games, I'm not really on board with, because that will take away the integrity of fair play, of fair competition. As ironic as it seems, it would, because it's like, but then what about everybody else? If you gift one team, you have to enact this policy and open tickets for vouched game replays from every team, because every team has had bad decisions. So every team would stick a ticket and say, I want this game replayed. And what you going to do? You're going to say no. So you can't start with something like this. You have to say, well, the best way to fix this problem is to avoiding making more of these problems by fixing up on that, on the officiating issues, or '06, or a million fucking games in history. That fucking Klopp annoys me to death. When United or Arsenal get shafted by VAR or referees, it's a deal with it. But when Liverpool, it's give us a replay, always a victim. We're doing football of fame. As much as I hate Liverpool, I actually like Klopp, but his constant crying and moaning just gets on my nerve. Starting to slowly dislike him more and more. I'll tell you what, send Klopp over into, I don't know, send him over to Serie A. Send Klopp over to Napoli. Just let Jurgen Klopp go and take over Napoli. That'll be entertaining, watching Jurgen Klopp with Napoli, or Inter Milan, or a team like that play as heavy metal football in a slow league. I'm telling you, that's probably got to be some kind of a gold mine for Jurgen Klopp if he were to take a team higher up the table in Serie A. That man will probably walk it to a league title. I'd take him in a heartbeat. I fucking hate the moaning twats who blame anything but themselves. They don't want to take accountability. They don't want no account. Give Ireland a replay of that 2010 World Cup playoff. Give Chelsea a replay of the 09 UCL. Give Arsenal a replay of the 06 final. Just deal with it, you bastards. Yes. Man City would be. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I haven't heard Man City fans crying out for a replay of the United game at Old Trafford last season. No one was crying out for replays then, even though VAR kind of screwed over Man City in that game, with Marcus Rashford practically shielding the ball from opposition players despite being on an offside player for Bruno Fernandes to line up a shot. It's kind of interrupting play. Even though you don't touch the ball, you're interrupting play because you're an extra body. You're using your body. The worst part is that most of their fan base will agree with Klopp. I'd also take him, but he needs to take some responsibility. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Jurgen Klopp if ever he does leave Liverpool. I'm sure he will leave Liverpool at some point in the near future, not so distant future. Even taking a piss out of decisions that caused controversy, that went for them. give Ireland a replay it for the Netherlands game a few weeks ago when our player almost got fly kicked straight to the face. Probably watching WWE or probably watching Monday Night Raw. But anyhow, but yeah, back onto the Brentford game. Like, man's not confident, but if I were to say, as far as a team is concerned, a team that I would want to see, if I were to pick a team going in to this game tomorrow, I suppose the question is, do you drop Andre Onana? Do you drop him? Personally, I wouldn't, because dropping a goalkeeper when they're having a little bit of a tougher time, you drop a goalkeeper, all of a sudden, that's confidence shattered. But this is the thing: is your first choice goalkeeper that you let De Gea go and bring in Andre Onana for about £50 million, and you say he's going to be my first choice goalkeeper. Well, you spend big bucks on your first team goalkeeper, and then if you drop him, that sends a bad message straight away. That sends a really bad message. For me, so Andre Onana should start. Reguilon's back in training now, so I would want to see, for the sake of it, Reguilon start at left back, but take it easy. Don't run yourself into the ground. Take it easy, bed yourself in. I'm doing that because I cannot stand to see Amrabat playing at fullback, because he's not effective. He is by no means effective in that position. For me, centre-back partnership, I mean, probably drop Victor Lindelof. Probably drop, to be honest, dropping Victor Lindelof. I mean, Maguire's probably going to have to play. Johnny Evans, I probably prefer Johnny Evans, because the guy's actually has actually provided some form of threat from set pieces, and we need to be dangerous from set pieces. We need to be, because we've barely scored from set pieces in a while. So we do need to change that habit. We need to turn those fortunes around. And I think maybe with Johnny Evans, he could give us a break with that. Varane starting next to him, and Dalot at right back. So Reguilon, Evans, Varane, and Dalot would be my opted choice for back four. Not to mention Victor Lindelof. As much as I would like to see him be playing, just for the sake of keeping Maguire on the bench, he's actually statistically been one of the worst centre-backs in the league this season. Statistically speaking, he's been one of the worst out of everybody at centre-back. So, yeah, we'll probably have to revise that decision. As far as midfield goes, Casemiro over Amrabat, we've got to see it. As to who plays in front of them. A split choice between Fernandes and Mason Mount. It's a split decision. It depends on what people are hoping for, or what they expect, or what people's agendas are. I think, probably go with Bruno. To be honest, I probably would go with Bruno and sub on Mason Mount at some point in the second half for the same position. For as far as left wing is concerned, Rashford, bye-bye, mate. Sit on the bench. Go sit on the bench, mate. Seriously. Listen, whether you're Rashford hype man, fanboy, doesn't matter to me. My guy is becoming more and more of a liability to this team, and is slightly it's like you're tying, an arm behind your striker's back or your attack's back, and we need to have a team that prioritizes build up and looks to work more chances into the game. And I think where you've got Amrabat and Casemiro as a spine, that controls the game better for possession. You've got Bruno in a further up position. And you know what? I mean, Bruno has to play in the middle. This obsession where we've been playing him on the right is just makes no sense. Absolutely no sense to me. I've never liked him on the right. For some reason, Ten Hag keeps playing him out there. Ten Hag, stop it, mate. Just stop it. The guy offers nothing. Absolutely nothing from the right. Nothing at all. He's slow. He's not combative. Every single left back that plays against him has got the easiest day of their life. Simple. So Bruno's got to play in the middle for me. He's got to play in the middle, play Garnacho on the left. You want to play a natural winger on the right. I mean, either Anthony. I mean, Anthony's back on the bench, so he'll probably end up starting a game. Or Palestri. I would like to see Palestri, personally. I think he's got something to prove. And if there is a run of games or time to give Palestri a run of games, it's got to be now. And then start Rasmus Højlund up top. So for me, just a quick run through of the team that I would want to see, that we probably won't see, is Onana in goal, Reguilon left back, Johnny Evans, Varane at centre back partnerships, Dela right back. You've got Amrabat and Casemiro at your CDM positions, and Bruno just in front of them. You'll have Garnacho on the left, Palestri on the right, and Rasmus Højlund up top. That's a team I would want to go with. I would want to see that team play. Obviously, because it's Ten Hag deciding it, we probably won't get to see that team, which is unfortunate. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what it is that people opt to do. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. As far as score predictions, I mean, Christ almighty. Let's say my team plays. If my team plays player for player, position for position, I would go with the United 2-1 win. I would go with the United 2-1 win. I would. I'd feel a bit better about a potential result going in the favour of us. And I think Brentford, as much as they've struggled in the Premier League, I think I'm hoping that if we get to the points in the games where we're scoring goals, that we get this bad habit out of our systems where we concede seconds later or minutes later. That for me, habit's got to die. It's got to die hard, die fast. So it kind of makes predicting wins a bit more difficult because if I say 3-0 win to United, that's judging that we don't capitulate after scoring a goal, which is not a frequent thing. Being honest, I'm saying a 2-1 Brentford win. Possible, entirely possible. Drop an Onana, he's De Gea 2.0, and De Gea was shambolic. Nah. I mean, Bayindir, I'll tell you what. The thing with Bayindir or the backup goalkeeping situations, Bayindir, I would have said, look, play as a backup goalkeeper in this competition or that competition. Play as the backup so that Onana is not playing every single game. But if he plays in every single game where he doesn't need to and something bad happens in that game, he might spoil confidence in the competitions that he is priority to start. Evans and Maguire, how the mighty have fallen. Leicester City 2017 flashback, people. Delo's been shambolic recently. I don't think he's good enough. He's quite hit and miss, I think. He's a bit inconsistent, but it is what it is. I mean, who else have we got to play right back at this club? Mount has actually looked all right in the last few games. I've heard of that. I've definitely heard that Mason Mount has been performing better. But the thing is I can't sit there and identify individuals as having a good game if they're not being on the score sheet or not setting up chances, creating goals, or having direct impact in a positive sense for the club. Because it's just it gets lost in translation when you look at just where the team, a player could do so well in one aspect of the performance and the team, but then you see the negatives and it's just like, well, wow. The negatives in that vastly outweigh those that are positives. So, I have to. I'll be keeping an eye on Mason Mount over the next few games. I know we've got Man City and Newcastle coming up next, so there's 3 hits, guys. 3 hits. Rashford has been woeful this season. He has. He absolutely has been woeful. Anthony should not be anywhere near Old Trafford unless it's hashtag United away day in the cup, not because of what he did, because he's a shambolic footballer. The embodiment of the fidget spinner, if you ask me. And Sancho won't even play either, so that's an advantage for United, but United are United. Yeah, pretty much. Brentford are better than United currently. The way you are going, I think you're coming 16th. I mean, probably not that far down. Probably not that far down. I mean, I was on Wolfgang Division show last night talking about this as far as predictions go in the league, and because of how uncertain things are and how up in the air everything is as far as the club is concerned, it's looking more and more likely that we're really going to struggle in getting a European place, because there's about 8 clubs that will probably finish ahead of us, that are currently ahead of us in the table, but will probably, on the basis of just how competitive they are, but how much better they are playing football than United at the moment, it makes sense to put them ahead of United in the table. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So probably 8th place, maybe. Be honest, Logadieti, good to see you, mate. We'll be on the show with Wolfgang Division later on tonight at 10 o'clock. So in just over half an hour, I will be on Wolfgang Division show for a 10 o'clock show. Just talking whatever happens, que sera kind of conversations that we'll be having. But good to see you, mate. You'll win 8-0. Be confident. God, if I had to inject a serum that had sponsorship of AFTV on it, I would be saying an 8-0 win to United, because, when Bomo can't hit the target. Oh, Vista can't hit the target. They can't hit a barn door. They couldn't hit the ocean if they kicked the ball off the side of a cruise ship. Things like that. Things like that. If Casemiro suffers a fatal injury, what's happening to him? What's happening to Casemiro to make him drop dead? Eriksen and McTominay, that's why I'm saying 60. So according to Jaminio, there's a stark possibility that that a Casemiro could drop dead. Eriksen isn't much better than McTominay, by the way. He's better in the technical sense, but he just hasn't got any legs on him. He's not heads up defensively, so he doesn't track runners. But at least when Eriksen passes the ball, he passes the ball, and he will actually have the ball at his feet. Whereas Scott McTominay's just a ghost. I'm not on tonight. I thought you were. I thought you would. I thought you were going to be on tonight's show. I know it's quite a late one, but yeah, I'll have to see who else is on tonight then. It might just be me and Wolfgang Division, but we'll have to see. Well, there's a slight chance, and hopefully it doesn't happen. There's a slight chance for anybody. I mean, Jaminio, mate, there's a slight chance that Hourahan has a fatal injury. Nah, chilling today, dude. No worries at all, mate. No worries at all. Do what you gotta do. If that happened, it's an absolute travesty, because between X and McShite is a tragedy waiting to happen. Christ almighty. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap the preview show up there, people. I was contemplating making this a video because there's not really too much to say. regarding United at the moment in predicting things with this club, because it's so up in the air and so completely unpredictable. It's like Forrest Gump trying to pick a chocolate out of a box of chocolates. It's like you never know what you're gonna get. But anyways, big ups to everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Big ups to the regulars, the channel regulars, for tuning in. Really appreciate the love and support you guys have shown me. That's is to Juminho, Longhead Yeti, Carl Rossi, Stephanie Griffith, and also Shadow and Juminho as well. I already said Juminho. Tony Barra. That's it. Tony Ibarra, big ups to everybody. The regulars that have been popping in. Really, really appreciate all the love and support you guys have shown me. Make sure that you are hammering up those likes, people. We're stuck on 2 likes. Stuck on 2 likes. I've definitely had more than 2 people in the stream. So make sure that if you're watching this on playback, that you spam that like button. Spam that like button to the point that it doesn't work anymore. And you can never like anything else again. And you'll have to share the stories with folk. With all of your folks. The last video I ever liked on YouTube was a Hot Fuzz video. Yeah. Always, but couldn't care less about that rap back. Must be feels indeed. Take care. You too, mate. Thank you very much to everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate the love and support you guys have shown me. And when I'm next on the screen, I'll turn juice into chocolate milk. Forget water to wine when you can have juice to chocolate milk. See you later on, people. Take care. Goodbye and God bless.